We drove through the fog and rain, leaving Mount Ida in our rearview mirror, and ended up in the most peaceful riverside campground in the Ozarks. Come with us as we set up the RV, take a tour of the campground, and kayak the beautiful waters of Sylamore Creek. We left Edendell Campground in Mount Ida after dropping Phoenix off at Camp Ozark and started the drive towards Sylamore Creek. The rain was falling, the fog settled over the mountains, and it really just made the whole trip quiet and peaceful. If you haven't seen our video from Edendell yet, it's up on our channel, and we would love for you to check it out. It really was a gorgeous spot. We chose Sylamore Creek Campground for a few reasons, but the biggest one was the proximity to the creek itself. In my research, I had seen how clear and beautiful the water is, and we were excited to spend some time kayaking during our trip. The campground is right on the water, which made it the perfect home base for everything that we had planned. So Joel is setting up the camper, obviously, and don't worry, I'm definitely not going to narrate this entire section. I just wanted to talk about how we're still pretty new to the RV life. We got our camper a few years ago, and we're definitely still figuring out some things as we go. This was actually the first trip we had brought the kayaks along, and that part was the real challenge, figuring out how to haul both the kayaks and the camper. But with some Joel ingenuity, we made it, and we were super excited about taking the kayaks out on Sylamore Creek. Like to add here that I did put this section of the video actually in the wrong location. He had definitely put those down before he took the camper off of the truck. Welcome to Sylamore Creek Campground. This little riverside spot is family owned, quiet, and just the kind of place we love staying. It has a mix of full and partial hookup RV sites, cabins, tent camping, and Wi-Fi, which is always a bonus when you need to get work done on the road, have a kid at camp that may need to get in touch with you, or maybe even stream some bluegrass from town. campground sits right on the banks of Sylamore Creek, with some of the sites being just a few feet away from the water. Since we were staying for 4 nights and it had been raining quite a bit, I picked a site on higher ground with full hookups. To be honest, I had seen some photos from a few weeks earlier when the creek was flooded, and let me tell you, when the creek floods, that water gets high, and so does my anxiety. So, for my peace of mind, and in the interest of not getting soggy or having to roll out unexpectedly, I figured it was better to be safe than sorry or soggy and go with higher ground. Another thing to note is that the camp store is stocked with basics and they rent out canoes and kayaks. While we were staying here, a big group of kayakers rolled in, so clearly this is a go-to spot for folks looking to paddle the creek, and that is valid. Another thing we love about Sylamore Creek Campground is how close it is to everything. You're just 5 minutes away from Mountain View. Mountain View is the folk music capital of the world. Whether it's a festival weekend or a random Tuesday, you'll definitely find a jam session happening somewhere in town. Also, just down the road are some amazing outdoor spots like Gunner Pool Recreational Area, Blanchard Springs, and Blanchard Springs Caverns. The caverns are stunning, as are the waterfalls. I feel like our 4 days here were great. We didn't have to rush to see what we wanted to, but really, honestly, you could stay a week and not run out of things to do and places to explore. What'd you think, bud? This was our first time kayaking Sylamore Creek, and it couldn't have been more peaceful. The rain had risen the water levels up quite a bit, so we decided to play it safe and launch right from the campground. We're still pretty new to kayaking, and with the water running higher than normal, we didn't want to end up on a stretch that was higher than our skill level. The campground actually offers shuttle services to a few different drop-off points, but right now, some of those locations like Blanchard Springs Recreational Area along the creek are closed due to flooding and staffing issues. Without proper personnel, they can't clean up from the flood and had to shut those areas down indefinitely. That makes planning a route a little trickier than usual, which is another reason leaving from the campground worked perfectly for us. Sylamore Creek runs through some of the most scenic parts of the Ozarks. It's part of the White River watershed and has been an important water source for centuries, used by early settlers and native tribes alike. Today, it's better known for its beauty: cold, spring-fed water running through limestone bluffs and dense forests. Between the views, the quiet, and the wildlife, this kayaking trip was one of the most relaxing parts of our trip. If you're looking for a beginner-friendly way to enjoy the Ozarks from the water, kayaking right from Sylamore Creek Campground is a great place to start. We ended up the day back at the camper. Joel fired up the grill and made us a great dinner, while Halo, our rescued pitty, kept an eye on everything, always nearby, and he's always so sweet. After a full day on the water, there's something very special about winding down with good food and the sounds of the night drifting through the open windows. It was unseasonably cool for this time of year, so no AC. Now, I'm not sure what Joel is saying here. The RV fan was going, so I couldn't hear him, but I do believe a curse word may have been involved. This whole trip has felt peaceful, silly, and it's been exactly what we needed. Make sure to subscribe to see where we end up next.